So the Kizer Megatherium, this was about 240 bucks from a kind of local-ish knife shop called Weeby Knives at Pier 39 in San Francisco. Every year, my wife and I go out to the pier roughly around Valentine's Day, and I visit the knife shop because there is one there, and I try to always get a knife when I go in because they have so many, and how can I not, given the options. I was actually getting close to closing time after checking out about a dozen different knives and chatting with the guy that worked there for entirely too long, and I was getting desperate, and I was like, okay, here's what we're going to do. Show me that one, and that one. And one of the ones that he brought down was this. And I thought it looked kind of interesting with the two-tone design here and the big cutout in the blade. I was only looking at the looks. I saw the brand name. But when I put it in my hands, this is all relevant. When I picked it up, I didn't even get a full grip on it. I just got it to this point. That's when I was sold. Right there. The ergonomics on this thing are incredible. Looks like a pretty simple design, possibly even a little bit awkward to hold with just how far forward the blade is from where your index finger goes and how far inset this is here. But this is so comfortable. With the curvature here, you actually get a couple of good spots on the frame for your thumb, and you can also choke up onto the blade. It just works so beautifully. Just fits the hand nicely. Has interesting balance because it is very blade heavy, but you still get good control out of it. Now, this is one thick piece of S35VN right there. It is such a heavy thing that you don't need to flick this at all. I'll show you the mechanism in a second, which is actually interesting for me, but you don't need to flick it, you just let it fall. And let you hear the sound. I'll get the microphone up a little closer. It's that sound you want to hear, that clock sound at the end. So technically this entire series is a frame lock series. However, frame locks don't usually work very well for me. However, this deals with the very problem that I usually have with, or frequently have with, frame locks. Sorry about all the oil that's still on this thing. But when I unlock a knife, I tend to have finger right here, a finger right here to get grip on it, and then I go ahead and operate the flipper. Normally I'm squeezing on the lock at that point, so I'm actually working against myself and increasing the pressure on the detent, which makes it much more difficult to open the thing, obviously. This has this carbon fiber scale with a nice almost wood grain look to it. I don't know if that's woven at all or not. I think I see a little bit of pattern in there. I don't know if that's from the machining or if it's actually woven, but it's a very gentle weave, not your typical crossing of bundles and weaving at a macro level, but very nice finish on this. But the scale on the back covers up much of that frame lock. It truly is a frame lock. It's not a hybrid with a liner or anything. This is titanium, the entire frame itself, so all good materials used there. And I mean, of course, it comes very sharp from the factory, and S35VN is a great metal. I love it. It's fantastic. I think I prefer it over most things that are cheaper when it's available, when it's reasonable to get. But just a wonderful thing to hold on to. This is also titanium, the clip, but yeah, it just has fantastic ergonomics, good quality finish. I really appreciate the scale going over part of the lock there. It's just good stuff. I think it's a pretty good value for the price as well. Online prices tend to be in the $230 range, so I was happy to pay $240 at a local brick and mortar store. It's just good stuff, if you ask me. A very easy to sharpen or hone blade as well. The entire thing has just a very slight curve to it, so it's basically all belly, but it's slight and it's very straightforward. I like it very much.